Uncle Ron and stuff, episode 14, I think. I'm not sure. I always lose count. But anyway, today's topic is pride. And as a young person, it's somewhere at some time, probably through church, I don't remember. I was taught that feeling pride was a sin. And it really got ground into me through that, I guess. And so every time that I felt or feel pride, I also have this bad feeling associated with it that I'm not supposed to feel like that. Anyway, I've argued with myself over the years that it's okay to feel pride when you accomplish something, you know. But anyway, I was at this small Christmas party last night at these folks' home, and I didn't know them. I went with my wife, spousal unit, and um, on one wall in the home was best I can describe as a shrine, and there was a very large picture, photograph of a man, say in his mid 30s, and also display cases hung on the wall. One of them was for a police department, and it had patches that go on the arms, you know, that policemen wear, and stripes on the sleeves that they had, and so on, and ranks on the shoulder, and also a badge. And I think the first one was like silver, and it said policeman, you know, county policeman. But the second one, I think, was really gold or gold tone, and it said detective. Anyway, I didn't know, you know, anything about this, but it was obviously, or to me, it was a shrine. And the lady of the home eventually came into where I was sitting, and we got to talking, and it was her son, and he had passed away 4 or 5 years ago, and he had been the policeman, and he died of a bacterial infection to his heart. Uh, anyway, the shrine, they were certainly proud of him, and rightly so. He was a policeman, and that it's you know, it's like a teacher. They don't get enough credit for what they do, and he was a detective, and you know. Anyway, it got me thinking about pride again, and I do remember one time that pride was not something that I heard often as a child. Like, oh, I'm really proud of you. They didn't. My parents didn't say that, except one time. And I don't remember the occasion except we were in the city park. I don't know, my father had picked me up from school or something, I don't know, and we had wound up there, and he'd been drinking. He had some alcohol in him, and he didn't drink very often, but when he did, it was usually like a headed toward a purge event. He would get so drunk he would throw up, but nonetheless, at some time we were in that park, he told me that he was proud of me. And I didn't know how to take it because pride was a sin, and I did look it up, and pride is one of the seven deadly sins. Okay, so I didn't know what to make of it, and as I say, I still struggle with it. But what I had a dream once, and my grandfather, he passed away a long time ago. He came to me in his dream, and I think I was working, doing something, digging ditches. I don't know. It was manual labor, and you know I was sweating and dirty and everything. And he said, "Oh boy, I thought you was just an office puke." You know, he and I was an office puke for a long time. I lived in a cubicle. You know, I went to work in a building and sat in front of computer terminals and all that kind of stuff. But he said, "Well, you, I thought you were an office puke. I'm proud of you." And that one meant a lot to me for grandfather to say that because he hardly ever said anything to anybody about anything. And the office puke was an interesting comment, I think, anyway. Anyway, follow on to this whole thing was, as my father passed away 20 plus years ago. And it occurred to me, I wonder if, the concept of him being up in heaven and hopefully made it there, that, he kept his corporal body sort of form and he's up there rambling around or doing whatever they do in heaven. I don't know. Looking down on me, that's what they say happens. If he's proud of me, and I don't really know that why I'm even thinking about it. I don't think I need approval. I was never one to really need approval. I mean, you can say that, but that's not really true. You know, it, I don't need other people's approval to verify my particular self identity. Let's put it that way. I don't need other people telling me, well, you did a good job. Well, I like to hear that you did a good job, and I've heard it a few times, but not often. But I've heard it, and it's kind of like a well, I'm proud of you thing, sort of like that, but not really. But anyway, I wasn't ever one to need, I guess, to please other people. Now I say that, but I think we all have the need to do that or get my mustache gets out this way. I don't know why that is. It looks a lot better this way. Backwards. I can't do this right. Anyway, if he's proud of me or not, and I hope he is, um, what I'm proud about my children is they're honest, decent, hardworking people. And I think if you're honest, which is, I wish it were commonplace, but I don't think it's so. Decent meaning you treat people in a certain way, and it's a good way. You're decent. You're not a gruff, huffy, nasty sort of person to be around. You encourage and support and share, and I don't know, kind of hardworking. I always said I gave hard days work for hard. I earn money. Hard whatever. What is that saying? I earned an honest day's pay for an honest day's work. I did believe in that, and I don't know where that came from either. An honest day's pay for an honest day's work. And when I did work for the man, I gave him a hard day's work. I really did. Anyway, and when I just said that, I took no pride in that statement. It's interesting. I did not take pride in it. A fact to me. Anyway, pride. And I don't know if you've got the same pride as a sin thing or not, or you can feel prideful about yourself. I think it's okay. I argue logically with myself that it's okay. Um, I have felt the feeling of pride. I know what it feels like. It immediately kicks in a subroutine that says, well, you need more humility. If you're feeling pride, then you're not humble enough, and you need to work on humility. And it is interesting. Usually, I will, soon after I feel pride, I do get a dose of something that makes me feel humility. And I will do it to myself. If I think I'm, smarter than the average bear, all I have to do is pick up a book on electrothermodynamics or something, or I listen to a lecture on cosmology having to do with densities and various matrix math and tensor theories, and I'm humbled again. That takes care of the pride issue for me. Uh, Finally, as a side comment, and I was thinking about it the other day that I should share it. I know it'll be a weird share, but it has to do with this in a strange way. But For a while, I was going to the Catholic Church with my wife. She was struggling mentally because I had been struggling mentally, and she was having trouble going by herself. So I was going with her, and not being Catholic, I did participate where I could and when I should, and other times I just sat and sort of meditated. I don't know. I was very quiet in my head, and I was just feeling the church, the shared thoughts and feelings of the parishioners there, and really quiet inside. And I have to say that, yeah, I've always said I believed in God, but I don't pray regularly or anything like that. And so he's a concept, but belief systems, that's going to be another topic someday. But anyway, I'm sitting there meditating, and I'm just quiet. And out of nowhere, I feel this hand gently touch the top of my bald head. And as soon as it did, this purplish, I want to call it a beam, but I don't know what it was, some sort of, it was purplish in color, ran through me like I was a grounding rod, and it went from the top of my head to my feet, and I knew instantly it was God touching me. And you're going, yeah, you've been doing too many drugs, man. No, I this is absolutely true. And part of the aspect of it that I really felt that I'm trying to share with you, I want to share with you, was that I was an infant with his hand on the top, and he sort of rubbed me like you would a newborn infant's head. And I knew, for all whatever I did know and how smart I think I might be, I was an infant. The differences between him and me was so massively significant. So massively significant. All I could think of was being an infant. And I wasn't startled or afraid or anything like that. I did question, why me? I mean, God touched me. And I don't have an answer for that. If I'd been saying, well, in the back of my mind all along, okay, God's sure, 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 but where's the proof? Give me an equation, something like that. I don't know it's crazy. Belief, is invisible. We believe in a lot of invisible stuff. Radio waves are invisible, but they're everywhere. Bluetooth, I don't know why I so easily can accept the invisible of Bluetooth, but had a problem with God and being invisible. Where is he? He's up in heaven, but I can't see him. He doesn't seem to interact with me on a daily basis. Well, this certainly cemented to me that there was God, and again, I don't, why he touched me, I haven't shared that with a lot of people because I think that they would think I was crazy or delusional or some such thing. And they would have to ask the same question, well, why did you get touched? And I don't have an answer for that, except, maybe I was worthy of being touched. That sounds hilariously egotistical or prideful or some such word. I don't know, but absolutely is. God is my witness. It did happen. And this purplish, it was the royal robe color, if you've ever seen the movie The Robe. It was this royal color. I don't know what the color had to do with anything, but it was there. Anyway, I didn't feel, I felt humbled like Moses did in front of the burning bush, although I was not full of like Oh, he's seeing everything. He wasn't doing a scan on me or criticizing me or summarizing me or he didn't suggest anything to me or anything like that. He just touched me as proof that he was real and real. I don't know. Anyway, that's more than enough for today. I started off on pride, and I guess I am curious. When I was in elementary school, I was friends with this guy, and we both were interested in electricity. And he had bought himself an AM radio transmitter kit, and we worked on putting it together. I think it had like two tubes in it, and we finally got it built and we got it on the air and we had a microphone, so we would play that we were like transmitter people, and it probably had a range of 4 houses, I don't know. So at 6 o'clock in the morning we're on this, we're broadcasting. This is Ron and friend broadcasting and the weather today, and how would you like to hear some music? And it was going like 300, 400 feet. I don't know. There was nobody there. There was nobody listening. And I thought about it the other day, I've been doing this post with Uncle Ron stuff, and I don't think there's anybody out there listening, which is okay. I'm a ham radio operator as well, and when I first started off, you would get on, you'd transmit CQ, CQ. Does anybody hear me? CQ, CQ. Anybody hear me and want to talk to me? And a lot of times there was nobody out there. The waves weren't, the ether wasn't right. It wasn't bouncing right, or there was nobody awake, or I don't know, whatever it is. Maybe that's the case with these. Maybe I'm just talking to myself, and that's okay too. I don't have a problem with that. And these things are getting longer, and I don't know why. So anyway, episode whatever this one had to do with pride and a lot of other stuff. But my whole point of these things are I give you something to think about. Think about pride. Do you feel pride? What do you feel in addition to pride, if you feel it? Is it okay for you to feel pride? Have you ever told someone else that you're proud of them? What did that convey, or what did you mean by that? Whole thing with pride and all of its associated adjunct, whatever. Anyway, that's enough for today, and I'll get it up on the post, and then I got to go do stuff. It's getting close to Christmas, by the way. Make sure you got your stockings hung and all that sort of stuff. Merry Christmas to you. Today is the 15th of December. Bye-bye.